This is Lynn Logic. Welcome to this week's episode, Season 3, Episode 4, Full Spectrum. So I joined OnlyFans. There will be a clean version of this episode, which will be released on YouTube and all the other general public platforms, and then there will be an OnlyFans version, a little more adult content-y for those that are subscribed to my OnlyFans page. Like, subscribe, join the kingdom. We run on the full spectrum here, and purple, that's just the color of royalty and bruises. If you are seeing a short under 3 minutes of this episode, or hell, any episode, you are seeing a small part of a whole. The entire episode is available on YouTube and Spotify, and the long-form videos on YouTube and the video podcasts on Spotify. Also, because I fucking love it also, check out the entire Lynn Logic library. Ooh, sexy alliteration. Now for the bad on paper part of this episode and a quick recap. I'm a widow of a cross-dressing alcoholic, and I'm a survivor of a blood clot in my brain caused by birth control pills, an experience that ultimately led to a hysterectomy. I'm also the daughter of a man who spent 23 years in prison. Trauma and I are well acquainted. Those are just the top 3 highlights. I may come across as a walking embodiment of Murphy's Law, but laughter has always been part of my survival plan. Professionally, I've spent 25 years working in accounting and operations across real estate, car dealerships, and hotels. I also hold a BA in psychology. I have always loved patterns, numbers, and categories. Lynn Logic exists because of that love. Hi, Lynn here. So, I'm going to be honest. I've tried to record this episode a couple of times. It's very life chapter closing, so it's very powerful. It is called Full Spectrum for the fact that it goes through the full spectrum of emotions, but also the artwork is going to be full spectrum of color. But yeah, I've had to record it a few times. It's been a little difficult. Hope you enjoy. Part 1. A message to the unlaws. I have the right to say this, as I paid over $140,000 over the 11 years with my husband, plus the 2 years I had to spend fighting with his parents after he died. That includes $80,000 that went directly to them after my husband's death. And if you want to hear my late husband's side of things and the full backstory from me, check out drewindrag.com. How dare you? I'm your son's widow. You raised an alcoholic. It is that simple. You did that to him. You broke him. When I had met him, he had 6 months sober. 6 fucking months. I was never going to win that battle. And you got mad because you broke him and I couldn't fix him. But that was your fault, and your fault alone. And you know it. And you punished me for your guilt. You told me I was nothing. Fuck you. I am not nothing. Do you know who I was to your son? I was his best friend. I was his lover. I was his girlfriend, his wife, then his widow. I was his freedom. I was his rock, his heart, his love. I was his girl. Now, who were you in our marriage? You were always the villains, the angry mother and the absent father that Drew just wanted to love him. You were the people that failed him when he was molested. You failed him for so long on that one. You invited his molester to Christmas dinner every year up until, 3 or 4 years before his passing? Yeah, I was there when Drew's mother said, I think we should stop inviting X to Christmas dinner. That look on my face, that was disgust and gratitude, because here were my Christmas dinners. I would listen to my husband talk about going, know that he needed to mentally prep to go, because his molester followed him around the Christmas dinners, still enamored with him. Both of you weren't there for the ride home or the days after when he would be hurt and angered. I was. Every family function for Drew meant that he had to prep his mask. He had to make sure it went on straight to cover all the secrets and lies, and damn, that man could wear a mask, and he had decades of experience. That man showed me what lying really was, and holy shit could he lie. Lady, you taught your son to lie. You win. He's lying forever now. And fuck both of you for the disrespect you have shown not only me but my family as well. My husband once told me that I was too fat, not blonde, and too Jewish for his parents to ever accept me. And for fuck's sake, I hate that he was right about you. You see my mother and you say to her, I feel like I should know you. Fuck you. You made me sell the home my husband and I made for below market value. You forced the entire sale. You made me sign a document under duress that threatened that you would take me to court if I didn't sign. That document is a part of my late husband's estate and I felt so fucking dirty signing it. All because I wanted to put the house on the open market. You are more concerned with hiding your shame and protecting your pride. Drew would be as disgusted with you as I am, even though he had that same shame and pride. Had. You made it impossible for me to act in the best interest of my late husband's estate. You bullied and gaslit me the entire time. Both the attorneys, mine and yours, kept telling you to stop any direct contact with me. But your emails just kept coming because I had already blocked you on my phone. I recognize that behavior now. My husband acted the same way when he was angry, and that I'm immensely familiar with. And I blame you. You raised a sexually confused man instead of accepting him. I know a very pivotal story from my husband's life that influenced him. Let me explain something. My late husband's favorite subject to talk about was his parents. If he was drinking, he was complaining about them. He told me stories on repeat for our entire relationship. And when it came to him and drinking, I either had the choice to listen or fight with him. So I would sit in silence and listen to these stories of failed love. And to you, I have to say, you never should have been parents. My husband would always say this: it was a good thing that my mom had a boy on the first try. She delivered. Her work was done. You lost and gave up on your son before I came along. You threw money at him and his problems until the investment was more than what you valued him as. What I did for my husband was not leave, and the absolute last words my husband heard before he lost consciousness was, I love you. And that was from me, but he had desperately needed it from you. Fuck you, and I hope you have a more miserable life. Karma's a bitch, and so the fuck am I. There. I said it. Finally. Only took 13 years. Part 2. I went to a funeral with my mom. Now, I'm not going to share any personal details in regards to names. I love and respect my family. I'm not gonna lie. If I could share one name, it would be the name of the woman singing. 'Cause, damn, beautiful. Her singing was like a warm hug. Her voice range was incredible. Her control magnificent. But the power she had behind her craft, damn. Here's the thing. And I'm not trying to sound insensitive here. I'm removing my emotions from this sentence. The cause of death was alcoholism, and he was younger than Drew. Psychologically, I needed to prepare myself for going. I was going to go. My mom asked. It was that simple. I was on a different side of this, and this wasn't my first funeral, nor my first funeral for an alcoholic, and it was so painful, but not for the reasons that you would think. It was his mother's pain. She loved her son so much and knew of the constant demons and constant fight that he had had. She talked about his big heart and his love of helping others. And what I saw that I had not seen before is a mother's love and loss. And it was beautiful and heartbreaking. And I'm sorry for the pain that she not only has already gone through, but the pain and loneliness coming. She is loving and loved and has great support. And sadly, that I am envious of. My late husband didn't get that, and I was shown how not loved I was. Part 3. I have to give you the light side of this episode. My mom needed an outfit for the funeral. I, of course, was going to go. To help, to mock, to make her laugh. So off to the mall we went, and my mom is a department store lady, so Belks it is. Little southern ladies love their Belks. But first, it is Chick-fil-A in the food court. And I had the cutest example of how my mom is still my mommy. I got a Chick-fil-A sandwich and requested no pickles. Now, on the absolute rarest of occasions, Chick-fil-A forgot the no pickle bit. Shit you not. Chick-fil-A messing up your order is like finding a Lego piece that is cut wrong. It is just that rare. My mom saw me pull the pickles off my sandwich and immediately went, Do you need me to take it back? I should explain. I was a very picky eater as a child. I mean, so very picky. I lived off of Hardee's plain hot dogs and bologna and cheese sandwiches. I tell you what I would do for a Hardee's hot dog from the 80s. And, the rectangle cafeteria pizza. And, the way Taco Bell tasted in the 90s. I miss that. This felt more like an involuntary response than anything else, like women lactating when they hear a baby cry, kind of involuntary. I thought it was so sweet and cute and told her not to worry about it. I had a craving to dip my sandwich into ranch dressing that day. Usually I either add cheese or dip it into honey. The ranch I had chosen covered the lingering pickle taste. Nah, I don't like pickles, but that's a vinegar thing. I love cucumbers. But also, I can fix it myself, all adult shaped and everything. We slowly make our way to Belk's. Let me explain. My mom was 5'2" and she is now 4'9.5". She is shrinking. Hell, I made a little chart on the inner part of her kitchen doorway that tracks her shrinkage and told her when she shrinks past the little person height, I want to throw her a specialized party. Yes, it would be totally inappropriate and offensive. Hell, when she turned 48 or 49, we got her a stripper. He came dressed as a cop. First, she got angry at him. He had told her that her parked Mazda 626 hit another parked car. It had rolled. My emergency brake obsessed mother was like, oh, hell no. He calmed her down, pulled out his boombox. Please Google if you are generationally unaware of what that is. The stripper cop then handcuffed my mother to a chair and earned his money. She turns 80 this year. Go bigger, right? Plus, she needs to make some more friends. Looking up all the time can bother her neck, so she needs a party to match her height. Think Jello wrestling just to start. My mom had to stop by a store to see a friend she made at the mall. I don't know if this is a Jewish thing or a Southern thing, but we make friends at the places we go. That's a people thing, probably. We made it to Belk's, finally, and picked out some lovely things for her to try on. One fitting room was closed, and so we had to travel to another one. Now, why my mother insists on walking through the clothes instead of on the path, I will never know. But remember her being vertically challenged? I kept fucking losing her. I swear, next time I'm tying a balloon to her purse. So we finally found the correct and open fitting room after a bunch of, Mom, and I'm over here. I totally thought that I was going to be able to sit in the husband chairs on the outside. Nope. I sat in the biggest dressing room with my 79-year-old mother. I had no issues there at all. I did have an issue with the fluorescent light flashing like it was stuck on the club setting. I told my mother, I did way too much acid in the 90s for this shit, so let's do it. Okay, the first pair of pants she tries on, well, they fit on length, but they just looked off. And she lets me know they're actually capri pants, that she figured she could and was right wear as pants. But when she told me they were capris, well, I just started laughing, and then she started laughing, and then she snorted, and then I snorted, and then we got to laughing all again. I swear, the lady in the stall next to us opened her door when we were leaving just to see who we were. And it didn't stop there. At one point, a fart escaped my mother. And here's the thing. Farts are funny. I don't care what age you are. Farts are funny. Hell, even Benjamin Franklin wrote a book called Fart Proudly. So I started laughing, and then she started laughing, and it was that I can't breathe type of laughter. You know the one I'm talking about. We decided to go try on shoes. Sadly unsuccessful for my mom. She has tiny and weird-sized feet. Of course she does. But the associate was super nice and told us a story of lost love. And I was like, go after her. And he was like, but I'm married now. And then he was like, maybe we could be friends. And I was like, you never know. Apparently we were shouting, but we weren't. He smiled like he had a happy memory pop up into his head. I mean, she's still in his thoughts, so much so that he told a total stranger about her. Find out at the least. Don't ask the question, look for the answer. We got my mom a nice scarf to go with her outfit, though. Doesn't she look awesome? Can I tell you something funny? The pants she got, they had this tag that said proportioned short. Isn't that great? Yeah, my mom found it funny too, and it is now sitting in her bathroom mirror. She looked good in her outfit, but more importantly, she felt good in it. And that's my mom. My mom is the woman who left my alcoholic father in the middle of the night with two daughters in tow. My mom raised my sister and I with love, my family being an important backbone. My mom, the woman who took me so many times to the emergency room at any time of the day or night because the migraine attacks were so bad. My mom, who was there after my hysterectomy because my husband was too drunk to come get me from the hospital. My mom, who was there after Drew died, every day. My mom has always been my mommy and will always be. So, yes, you should know her. Dick. Part 4. The also part, because I fucking love an also. Okay, so I had a giggle. Initially, when I started season 3 of Lynn Logic, I had thought the first episode would be a two-parter, moving and figuring out my new place of residence. But let me tell you a secret. I can figure out numbers and contracts and policies. Hell, I had to file for a tariff at my first job right out of college. It was a 25-page application requesting all kinds of fun things. This was a whole intrastate authority kind of thing in the early 2000s. I've always been good at the details because I like to look at things in details and layers. That all sounds super neat, right? Like, ooh, crazy brain. Yeah, it's so annoying. Here's the flip side. That adult shit you guys are good at, the cooking and the cleaning and the making sure you eat and the housing shit, I have never been good at that. Ask my sister, ask my mother. They both know and have examples. I own that. I've always lived with people that like things a very specific way. My late husband was very specific, and after we were married, his ways were the only ways. And since he stopped working, he was the house husband. I'm good at following routines at home. But let's face it, I was a kept woman. And let's be honest, it's not like I had that shit nailed down before I met my husband. So now, as I relearn who I am and how I stand, I have a couple of questions. Number one, am I an adult? I mean, yeah, age wise, I am. 46 is old. Well, old to a 25-year-old, but not to an 80-year-old. I'm old enough to know better. And I'm all adult shaped, and I like doing adult things, but the rest, I don't think so. I love accounting and numbers, and writing and working is my favorite thing to do. I wanted to be a neuroscientist when I was younger. Secret, I actually don't care where I live, meaning city, state, country, as long as I have a space that is mine. A bedroom. A cave-like, red-lit bedroom. I don't want the rest. The living room? Can't that go in the bedroom? Kitchen? I don't cook. I don't like to. I'm not good at it. And I hurt myself and break things trying to do it. Dining room? A what? Do people use that on the daily? I mean, I'd like a library. Ugh, the one from Beauty and the Beast. I worked at the library all 4 years in college. I fucking love them. So quiet and filled with knowledge and the best smells. I would love to live somewhere where there are people. I'm tired of being alone so much and still sometimes need to be alone. Hence the red light cave. But what am I good at? Well, when my husband passed, he had had almost no credit card debt. I did that. When he wanted to buy the house, my friend was the lender and I did all the paperwork. Of course I did. I can do construction loans and SBA loans and building permits and market analysis and forecast models. And I can make any company's books look so clean you would swear it was done by an AI. He actually helps me and his name is Jerry and I've been building him for 4 years. I'm good at technology and algorithms and formulas. I can do that. But that day-to-day shit that y'all make look so easy? Nope. And number 2. What in the fuck am I going to do? I'm on episode 4 after doing the two-part first episode. I had moved to my mother's, which was meant to be very short. I'm still here. And yes, I very much want to move, and it's not that I'm doing nothing. It is that I keep trying to do something, and then something happens, and then something falls apart. Did that sentence make sense to you? I'm on like plan J now. In my old life, I had the house and the husband and the 401k and the mortgage and the credit cards and the lawn equipment. Adult shit. I don't want that now. I just want a room. And that is all I've been trying to figure out. Plans A through I were all trying to get a room. So plan J is now being thought out. Wish me luck. I mean, no, don't do that. All the luck I seem to get is bad. Wish me hope. I love hope. I live off of hope. Jeez. I am so fucking tired. All good, Lynn. Time to chin up, tits out. Bye. This episode is meant to be performed all together and move through all the emotions of it. It is meant to be read in front of a crowd, so I'm looking to read it live somewhere. Doing my own research because I love that shit, but if anybody knows of any places around Charlotte, let me know. Have a good one. Chin up, tits out. Bye. What you doing? And she had made no. Why is he staring at me? Here's the thing. He stares at me a lot. I mean, he's deaf, I get it. But the thing that he does that's actually really kind of creepy is when he takes shit, he'll make. Hold on. The thing that he does that's super, super creepy is when he takes a shit, he'll make eye contact with me. And I don't need that. No, I don't want that. Probably a people thing. No, can you? No, please. You were good. You were good. Just let me finish recording. You were good.